Alright, we are back after our horrible day of Parcel School with Junior. And just so you guys know, I have been doing some playing of this in the background outside of this save. Just to, get my hands on the more junior approach of playing this game. And I can't really say I enjoy it as much. Um, but I also have to say that as this game goes along, the day to day gets very repetitive and very boring, especially the further you go into automation. The more automated you make things, the less actual, fun things to do there is. And, well, this game's not the whole, thing of fun since you're just marking packages. But let's go ahead and take a look. Now, don't get me wrong. When I say less fun, I mean for y'all to watch. I enjoy playing this game. Otherwise, kind of wouldn't be doing it. But as far as fun to watch, it's kind of limited on that. So I think from here on out, outside of a little bit of, me sitting and rambling about random things, which I am prone to do a lot of the actual day-to-day work, I will probably skip over if it's going to be highly repetitive. If there's going to be something new that we have to deal with or something like that, that's a different story. We'll check that out. But we're probably not going to do every day. This series will drone on forever. Y'all will get bored of watching me do the same thing, and nobody's going to watch. Alright, so first off, we're going to package this because we don't need it anymore, I don't think. Didn't we put in a weight thing? Yeah, we got a weight thing. Yeah, weight thing. We don't need this anymore. So we're going to go toss it in the box thing outside and see what we get for it. Bucks for boxes. 50 bucks. Meh. It's something. Alright, so we pretty much just need to get through today and make some money. And with the way we've been automating things here, we don't really have a good stockpile of things coming in. So what I would typically do now is I would have everything go onto a rack. And, well, apparently one of my packages was bad. Huh. And I can't get loaders. I have $1,000. I need 600, and then I need unloaders, which we don't even have unlocked yet. So we need to get a big bunch of packages in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do my very best to sort packages as they come through before they go through the scanner. Like that one's fine. That one's invalid. I should bring one of these over here. Put that there. This one's invalid. That one... Wait a minute. Yeah, that one's fine. That one's fine. That one looks okay. That's a bad package. That looks okay. This one's bad. I'm just going to sit here and sort through as much of these as I can, getting them set to go through the scanner as quick as possible, and get as many packages in the door as we can do, which is where we get to what I was talking about of it being a little rough, because you get a bunch of packages in the door, then you're sitting here for hours, in-game hours, trying to sort through everything that you did, or everything that you got in the door. So I'm going to pause here so this isn't too ungodly long, and we'll be back with you when the day ends. All right, the day has ended, and I really suck at the junior method because, well, as you can see, I didn't keep the trucks empty. I tried. I have a pile of both of them, but this one's lacking. Trying to keep both of them running is too much for me. So we're gonna do this a little more my way, but still trying to do it a bit in the junior method. That one marked. Needs to be marked. Also figured out something with my automation we did over here that we need to address after I get all of these emptied off of here. You. All of these need to go down the chutes. And set chute to go. Okay, so now we have one bad one that came through the system, and we had a whole bunch of them that were valid and ready to get sent, but our belt backed up. And well, if you see the arrows on these belts, you'll see the problem. This one was supposed to be sitting in line over here, waiting to go down when I hit the button. But if I place it here, it goes that way. So yeah, I somehow set all of these going in the wrong direction. Also, be very careful when you move belts around, because they will work as an output for a machine. I noticed. Okay, that's going the right direction. So we need to turn all these around to go the right direction, because the idea is supposed to be that when I put them on here, they'll automatically go to get dropped in. And they can't do that if they are going the wrong direction. Also, we really need more room for our good and ready to goes. because that's a mess. All right, so I'm going to sit here and sort through this allotment of crap, just so you guys know exactly, you know, you can see there's some of these that aren't marked that they're bad. Basically, what I'm doing is when I grab them off of the thing, I'm checking to see, like that one has carrot delivery. We don't do carrot delivery. We cannot deliver via carrot. That one has, you know, envelope delivery. You can't have envelope delivery when you're in a box. You wouldn't fit anymore in an envelope. So that's basically what I'm looking at, is if they have bad flags, or if they have bad cargo types, or, you know, if they're already marked as valid or invalid. And if so, then I throw them off. And if not, then I put them in the pile for good. And see, these, I need a thing here running over to here, because we don't have one of those yet. But we'll deal with that later. Speaking of unloaders, we need to be at tier 4. And tier 4 requires content inspection prohibited license. So, license, we need to buy this, which needs a parcel opening toolbox, which is this. And I really don't want to buy that on its own, because we're going to be buying a lot more today. I'd like to get the serial number scanner to hook it up behind our weight scanner here. But I don't know we're going to have... Yeah, let's go ahead and just throw it on the thing. That'll give us 1675. Gives us about 300 bucks we can mess with. So let's go ahead and 3. That'll get us to 1975. We'll go ahead and buy that. And then hopefully we'll have enough after we go through the rest of the stuff to get our expansion done. So I'm going to go ahead and start jumping through all of this mess, and I will be back with you to look at our expansion, our new license, stuff like that, in a few minutes. Be right back. Okay, I tried to set the unpackaging thing on the desk and open it, and well, it ended up down there. Not quite sure how that happened. Okay, now we got everything back in order. So that's that thing. I forgot about our contract. We have an open contract for 4 parcels to implant, so I need to keep an eye on that. 7 parcels for 200 bucks is not really worth it. 1 single valid one, doesn't matter where it's going, for 40 bucks is not bad. I might go ahead and do that one. Anyways, we should be able to now buy our license. So we now have our license, and this is telling us about our prohibited stuff. So bleaching chemicals, gas containers, loose batteries, knives, cash, and money are not allowed to go. So now we need 1,600, and we can buy that. So I'm getting back to work and hopefully getting that done. See you in a minute. I know I keep saying I'll be back when we get finished up, but this is one beef that I have with this game, is that you can't place these things on these pallets. Putting that pallet there does absolutely no good because it doesn't actually attach to the pallet. And they also put you so tight in here and don't let you turn side to side when you're at the desk. Also, that is really annoying. The desk should be, solid. But you also can't turn side to side. So in the early game, when you're still doing stuff primarily manually, like what we're doing here, it really makes it tedious. Like, this video at this point is 17 minutes ish. And well, I've been playing now for, I would say, a good hour. So the amount of time that's been cut down, just mainly because of the tedium of this, some of it was the whole getting boxes in here thing, but a lot of it has just been the tedium of also this. Why these belts don't want to just start moving stuff. Just little nitpicks like that are just annoying. See, that one started going. Sometimes they have moments. Now, there is a thing in the shop that should be used in this position, which is a pause conveyor, where you can pause it and say, don't go yet, or okay, it's fine for you to go. But like that right there, that's really annoying. Alright, so these are ready to go, so we can go ahead and hit that. These are ready to go. Go ahead and hit that one. And then I can throw all of these on here. And this one should be about ready to go. I've cleaned up most of what, I still have a whole rack here that's waiting to get done, but now I can start sorting through my piles here. So the way I like to do it is look at the code and then look at the front, make sure everything's good, because you can tell a lot of times if the code is going to be good or bad by its formatting and if it has a letter in it. And you can save yourself a lot of time by not waiting for this slow thing to do the weighing if you check all that beforehand. But all of these, I've already hand checked the face of them, but I haven't checked the codes. So I'm just basically, like that one. That one's a bad code. That one we can just throw over here on the rack, because it's definitely not going to need to go through. And see, this thing ain't moving anymore because we got to deal with that. That was good there. missed code. That looks good. But it has cake delivery. I missed that in the first one there, so we can get rid of that one. Alright, so I'm going to be here for a little bit longer going through all of this. So I'm going to save you guys the tedium watching me sit here go through all this stuff. And I'll be back again, hopefully this time when we're actually ready. Alright, our day is finally done. Everything is ready. This one's 7 of 8 and we need a little extra cash, so we're sending it along. This one is done, so we're sending it along. And planes have already been sent out. So it is done, and now we have $5,000 to play with today. So first off, we're buying this. That will give us bigger racks, which is very nice. And it also gives us the ability to get the unloaders, which is also very useful. And it also unlocks our maritime thing. So now if we go to cargo type, on Wednesdays we have planes, which is today. Friday we'll have planes again, but on Tuesdays we will now have boat cargo. So that means we're going to need to have a rack like this over here for boat stuff for the week. Also, the implant contract, I didn't get any implants that I found or paid close enough attention to. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to make racks. So let's go to the shop and we're gonna need loader, unloader, and then the medium storage rack. And we're going with black. And that's gonna cost us $2,000 for one set. So basically one loader to load the rack, one unloader to unload the rack, and then the rack itself. And we're basically going to put that right here. It's 3 long, so we're not going to be able to fit it here. We could fit the rack this way, which is possibly what we're going to do. We could also do it here and put the rack this way, which is probably a better idea. So we're not going to need any curves in that. So let's go ahead and get that ordered. So we're going to take this one out of here. And when this comes in, it's going to go straight onto the rack. And we need lots of these racks. Because one rack is definitely not going to hold everything for the day. We can also eventually speed up our belts and our delivery. If we go in here to upgrades, so our delivery speed, we can up that, which is how quickly the deliveries come. which if you're trying to do the junior method is a really good idea because then your trucks are coming a lot faster. We're doing this in the modified junior method, which is set up a whole lot of racks, allow the trucks to unload onto the racks rather than me having to sit here and just make big ass piles on the floor, because I don't deal well with piles on the floor. And then the delivery size, we've already upped it once. We need to up that again. And another thing we need to look at upgrading soon is export size, but we need tier 6 for that, because that will allow us, instead of having 8 things go out at a time, it'll allow us to have like 12 and 16, if I'm remembering correctly. And that'll give us bigger bonuses for how many go out at a time. We actually make more by the more we submit at a given time. We also need an unloader for this. This is what sends things over there. And there's also automatic exports, which is where this will automatically set to go. But there's a problem with that we'll get to when we get to that, which is Saturday and Sunday is trucks only. We can't set everything in there to go and then it automatically go. So we are going to go ahead and go to the shop, and we're going to get a unloader, and we have $1,500. We also need to set up our code scanner here, our serial number scanner here, and we're going to move this over to about here, I think. Because if we take this and we have the, yeah, if we have the weight go there, this is the good way. Let's get this out of here for the moment. Get this out of here for the moment. So if it comes through the weight scanner and it's good, then we want it to go into the serial scanner. So we're going to put that there. So when it pops out, it's going to go into there. And then we know that if it comes onto this belt, then that is going to be ready to go, basically. It's only thing we have to check is the country and the storage type or cargo type. I had to put this over here. Do we have a curved belt? No. We need a curved belt right there. Technically, I think we can get away with doing this. I think that'll actually work, which is kind of weird, but I think it'll work. Because those are the bad ones that's not right. Nope, 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 nope. These need to go to here. That needs to go like that. That's the bad belt. This is the good belt. So this actually needs to come in here, and then needs the loader. the unloader right there. And what we eventually will get is a sticker applicator that'll go in between this one and that one that'll apply the sticker. But we'll have, you know, a lot more things we'll have to deal with at that point. Let's go ahead and get this one. And yeah, we need an unloader there because we're manually going to be adding things here. And I actually want to put this one over here and give me this green one because it's confusing as heck having that green one and red one there, even though it's this one shouldn't be red because this is good and needs to be checked, but for some reason I grabbed them all as red ones, and sadly they have paint in here, conveyor paint. They don't have paint for racks, and we can't get the paint anyways. Alright, so we need that unloader to unload this rack, and I think I'm going to go ahead and grab a couple of curves, even though I really don't need them. And let's get a joint one as well so it looks good. That'll work. It'll just look cleaner this way. Yeah, just give me one of these. I need to get one of those bigger pallets too. Those bigger pallets are rather nice. You can carry a lot more on them. I'll probably look at getting into those tomorrow. Okay, so we want unloader, which is going to go there, and the joint conveyor, we're going to have it go right here. That out. We're going to put that in, and then we're going to take this out, and we're actually going to put a curve in there because it'll just look better. So then anything bad coming out of both of those go onto that belt and onto there, and as soon as we can get that this one, the sticker applier, which is tier 7, we're only at tier 4, so it'll be a while. We can almost auto output those things, and I really want to bring this over and have it a little closer to myself, but we need a curve for that. We do actually have, so yeah, let's go ahead and do this a bit here. We can move this down to like there. We can move this to there. Move this to there. And I think I got a little exaggerated with it. Yeah. So it'll go here, and we'll turn it this way. That way we have plenty of room to get into these three. Alright, so that truck will unload into this rack. Then we can sit here and look through what comes into the rack, throw them on the thing. Because this one is closer to the machine, it's going to need more space. We'll start filling up this area over here with racks and allowing this thing to offload. This one has a lot longer belt, so it'll be able to go longer on its own before we need to start unloading things off of it. So I think we are good for today, and I will see you guys next time, I'm going to go have a sleep. And we'll see you then.